I'm Tom Stapleton from the Wakefield Community Access Television Station. And we have another show here with Brendan Kent, the Athletic Director of the Wakefield High School. How you doing, Brendan?
Good, Tom. Thanks for having me in today.
Good to see you again.
Yeah.
This is our second show since you've been here. And he's decided he'd like to do maybe a show a month to keep everybody updated on what's going on. And I guess the first question I have to ask you is, how are things going now that we're beyond the school, the first day of school, and everybody's got their feet a little wet now? How are you doing with all this stuff?
So far, so good. I'm having a blast. It's unbelievable. I can't say enough about the people here in Wakefield. Everybody's been so welcoming and supportive, from the faculty to the students to the parents. Really having a great time. It's just definitely a huge adjustment professionally. I've always been somebody that's been very regimented. So like every day I come in, I make an agenda, I make a schedule out for myself, and by about 8:30, you can throw the schedule away because there's constantly something different. There's constantly something different every day that's unexpected, that's coming up spur of the moment that you need to address right away. So me, that's really been the biggest challenge. I keep telling people, I can't believe how fluid the job is. That's really the best word to describe it, because, like I said, you really need to be able to adjust. There's just constantly different things coming up that you need to address, like I said, right away. So for me, someone that's always been very, scheduled, regiment-oriented, it's definitely a big adjustment, but I like I said, I'm having a blast. The people here are terrific, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the school year. It's been a great start.
Well, I can imagine it must be a little overwhelming at first.
Yes.
Because maybe, I don't know, before you started school, you thought you might have had everything lined up. And this is where I have to be. This is my job. This is where I go. And then, like you say, you come in at 7 or whatever, and then at 8 o'clock, it's all it's just changed so much, and you're just operating on the phone call, somebody coming in the office, or a meeting, or whatever. So it must take a while to get adjusted, and maybe it may just be that way.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the job, probably. You're never going to have a regimented job anymore. Not here.
No.
Not with this type of thing.
Yeah, I don't think so.
What do you find that's the most challenging with the job? I mean, I know myself when I get busy and so on like that, and I look at the clock, and I came in the morning, and all of a sudden it's 3:30, and wow, where'd that time go? What am I doing? And I'm just running and running. What's the most challenging for you? What's that all about?
I can definitely relate to that, because I look down at my watch every day, and I look down and it's 4 o'clock already, and I'm saying, where did the time go? The time just goes by so fast. So I think time management is very key, as well as really prioritizing, the things that you need to accomplish. Because for me, a lot of times I'll have morning meetings, whether it's with a school principal or a coach or whoever it may be, and I'll come out of the meeting and I'll have 40 emails. And I'm looking through the emails, and you have to really quickly sort out, okay, this is what I really need to address right now. This I can kind of put off a little bit, and for me that's difficult, because I always, want to address everything that comes up to me. So whether it's a parent email or a coach email, I really strongly believe in getting back to those people and giving them feedback or answering their questions. But you really need to manage your time wisely, and really be able to prioritize what the most important things are that you really need to tackle right away. So,
no, I mean, I know you're the athletic director, but you also have some other duties too that you have to take care of. Just tell us a little bit about the other things. That you have to do.
I am the athletic director of the high school, but I'm the K through 12 director of health and wellness in the district.
Okay.
So I oversee every health class, physical education class, wellness class, from kindergarten all the way up through 12th grade. So that's also a huge aspect of my job, and that can definitely take up a lot of time. I'm on a lot of different teams and committees to try to integrate some health initiatives within the district. A lot of times I have to go out to the other schools, so I'll make my rounds to the different elementary schools, and how we talked about time flying by. I'll go out to the different elementary schools, and by the time I get to all of them, it's almost 2 o'clock, and I still have the whole athletics aspect of my job to address. So that can definitely be challenging. We're doing a lot of great things now in Wakefield. I'm working with a parent right now introducing the BOX program. It's a before school fitness program for the kids. It's sponsored by Reeboks, hence the name BOX. Stands for Build Our Kids Success. And so right now we're kind of working on the middle school. I'd like to get that going down in the elementaries at some point. We're working on a lot of mental health initiatives in the district too, trying to integrate some mental health curriculum aspects into our already health curriculum at the middle school and high school. So there's a lot of initiatives we're trying to take. I've been working a lot with Jeff Boyd, the new Wakefield Academy director, trying to get our after school programs going for our middle school kids. They're doing a great job cross country and flag football right now. So we get a lot going on, and it's definitely a big part of my job. Yes.
Yeah. I can see that. And then when you come back to your office, now you have 60 emails.
Yes, absolutely.
So then you got to deal with that. But, so what kind of a day is? I mean, what time do you start? What time do you go home? I mean, how does that work?
So I usually try to get here about 7 o'clock in the morning. Usually, I got to say my day usually starts before 7 though. I usually wake up about 5. I try to work out in the morning. That's something I've always done. Gets my body going, gets my mind activated. And when I wake up, I usually have a few emails already, lingering from the night before. So usually I'll try to address those on my way to work. And then when I get in, check my voicemails, check any other emails that I got already. Usually I'll have to, check in with the office upstairs. I'll have some type of, whether it's an email or a voicemail from somebody up in the office asking for something. And then from there, it's just kind of, like I said, it's a fluid,
it keeps going.
Fluid job. It's one thing after another. I really I have to evaluate all of the teachers within my department. So I have 15 teachers throughout the district. So I try to get out there and try to, connect with them as much as possible, support them in any way I can. And then as far as the athletics, I'm always getting emails from, opposing athletic directors about, we have a schedule conflict with our field. Can we change the location? Can we change the time? Can we change the bus? I get a problem getting referees. So that's always a difficulty right there.
Yeah, I know you mentioned, a week or so ago, you were, I think it was last Friday or something, where we, had the football game and so on like that. But you had mentioned you had trouble trying to get referees and something or something. And how hard is it to get qualified coaches and referees and volunteers to make this whole program work? I mean, what's involved in that?
Yeah, it is difficult because, well, first of all, for coaches, your job, it's great to get teachers in your district to coach your teams because the hours just work, and also they already know the kids. They know kind of the core values and the culture of the school, so they can reinforce what the school is trying to do. But unfortunately, not every teacher is a coach, and sometimes you have to go outside of the teachers within your district or people that aren't teachers in general. And for a lot of people, that's tough. The hours are difficult because it's right after school. Sometimes you have games at night. Sometimes you have games on the weekends. So if you have a family, it can really be stressful. It can be tough to manage that time. So finding qualified coaches is definitely more difficult than you would imagine. As far as finding referees, the Middlesex League we have assigners, so we hire people to find our referees. However, that's more difficult than you would imagine as well because, for example, last Friday we had a shortage of referees for field hockey. And I felt terrible for our girls and our parents, but our team was down there, they were ready to play, and the other team, I believe it was Winchester, was down there, they were ready to play, and we're looking around waiting for the referee, and we're saying, where's the ref, where's the ref, where's the ref? And I called our signer up. I said, our referee hasn't showed up yet. And our game was scheduled for 5. And she said, I'm really sorry, Mr. Kent. We had a shortage of refs today. We had X amount of games. And we had to schedule this ref for 3 o'clock, thinking he could do a 3 o'clock game and then get to your 5 o'clock game. The only problem is the 3 o'clock game didn't get started till 3:45.
Oh.
Yeah, and so obviously that pushed that game back. He showed up late for our game, so it can be really tough finding refs. And now they have a screening process where every ref has to get screened by the MIAA, which is a great thing, by the way. They do background checks, making sure that everybody's qualified. And then our assigners gather referees out of that pool of qualified refs.
So that's a constant problem. And
yes.
And then usually that shows up, like you say, 10 or 15 minutes before the game is supposed to start.
The big issue is a lot of these refs double up. So they'll do a freshman game, right after school, followed by a JV game, followed by a varsity game. And that's all great if they're doing that on site at your location. But if they're traveling from Wakefield to go to Reading and then later to Wilmington, that's where you run into problems if somebody gets stuck in traffic or something like that. So,
now, let me talk a little bit about the football now. And you're into your season now. I think you've had 3 games under your belt.
Yes.
And I was there at the game last Friday. I'm dating this video now, but I won't put a date on it. But anyways, and I was doing some filming, and I noticed that that the coaches had their headsets, and they're talking with people in the booth and everything like that. And then they had somebody on top of the booth filming the whole game, which I think is done by a lot of the students in the high school, in the TV department. So my question to you is, when they do that filming, do they use that film to look at what they've done and where the mistakes are, what they're doing? How does that work?
Absolutely,
Is there a faster way of handling that, or what?
Yes, so this is a practice that's been going on for a long, long time. Teams use film. They've been doing it for 50, 60 years to break down that film and replay the film to their team and show them where the mistakes are and show them things that they're doing really well. Now, nowadays, it's so much more convenient with the technology that we have. There is a program out there that our team has a subscription to, and what that allows you to do, when you tape the game, you can load it online to your account, and every single player on the team gets their own individual account. So they can log into their account anywhere they want, from any device, whether they're at home or they get it on their phone or iPad or whatever it may be. They can use that account and they can watch the game film. Now, the great thing about that is the coach can put notes into their account as well. So they can say, okay guys, I want you to look at play number 25. And every play is numbered. And they can say, we missed a block here. Look what happens when we miss this block and how the play breaks down. And now the other thing is, they can point out good things like I mentioned. They can say, look at play number 37. Look how we came up and supported the outside on this and made the tackle, and this play really worked for our team on defense. So there's different things they can point to within their own game. Now, the other thing they can do is they can get other teams' films loaded up to that account, and they can prepare for games in the future. So they're playing Wilmington this week. They might get a Wilmington film and say, now look how they're running this particular play. Look what they do on this play. This is how we need to stop them. And so the kids can do this from home. It's almost like homework, you know? They can do it at home. They can watch it at home. And then when they come into practice the next day, they know exactly what the coach is talking about. So it's a really great tool.
That's amazing. And that's been around for a while now.
Yes. So the new...
That's amazing.
Coaches have been doing this for a long time, breaking down film. But as far as the online portion of it, that's relatively new, but it's expanding so much. Almost every high school is on it now, almost every college. And the other really cool thing is it's great for the recruiting process.
Okay.
Because if you have a particular player that's a really good player, and maybe that player is getting recruited by a particular college, they can break down the film. So every one of their highlights, let's say they had some 5 really great plays, they can cut and paste those into one highlight film, and they can send it off to a college that they're interested in.
Wow.
So yeah, and those college coaches can get that.
Take a look at that.
They can evaluate that, and that's where a lot of these scholarships are coming from now. Is coaches are, instead of going out and actually physically going to games and watching players, they're watching them on game film.
Yeah. That's truly amazing. And
it is.
Look how far we've come.
Yeah.
And the technology just, and of course, the young people that are involved, they're into the.
The kids love it. They absolutely
go right
love
at it, and they look at the play.
And some of the kids, it's amazing. Their highlight films they can create. They can add music to it, and input little designs. It's really funny.
Take my job away here.
I know,
Honestly.
So.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
You know what? I some of the other school events that you have are the other departments, sport departments.
Yes.
Like say volleyball and
Yes.
swimming and so on like that. I hear about it, I read about it and everything, but you don't see too much of those things.
Yeah.
How does that work? I mean,
that's kind of what the tradition has been. I know football and basketball and hockey, they're usually kind of the high profile sports. For me, I want to support every single sport.
Right,
So I've really been making a point to try to get out there to every sport. And something I've been doing to try to create some more awareness about these sports, I've started up a Twitter account, as well as a Facebook account for Wakefield High School athletics. And I've been promoting these sports through that. So a lot of people, they don't get this information out there. So I've been trying to get that information out to the public about these sports. I've been in contact with Jim Southmaid from the Item because we have a lot of great things going on other than just football and the kind of high-profile sports that traditionally people only hear about. And I want people to know about every single one of our athletic teams, not just the high-profile teams. So, for example, our cross-country team this year,
there you go.
They are unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I feel like in a lot of schools, that might fly under the radar. But for me, if somebody's doing something that's terrific, I want people to know about that. So I've really been trying to get that information out to people. I've been sending some emails to parents. Every week I do I do a weekly Wakefield Warriors game plan.
Okay.
I send that out to every faculty member in the district, just kind of about things that are going on this week, in athletics, as well as kind of information updates on what happened the week prior to that. And I try to include some pictures of different events, and the teachers really love that. They love finding out about what their students are doing, and so I'm really trying to promote every sport. So.
Gee, with that information that you just told me, maybe it might be a good idea to give us some of that information.
Absolutely, yes.
We could put it on, on a weekly
Absolutely.
basis, just have maybe 10 or 15 minutes or so of what's going on in the sports area. Like you see, outside the major games and sports, right? Like you said, the football. Swimming. Volleyball and
field
cross country, field hockey. Yeah, they don't get much
golf.
Yeah, that's great stuff.
Yeah,
and people would like to hear that.
Yeah, and those kids are working just as hard as anybody else.
I was going to say, and they'll be happy to see some recognition.
They deserve the recognition. So
I'll work with you on that one.
Absolutely,
that sounds like a great idea. So
absolutely,
if you put that together, and we'll get it on here and we'll get it out there.
That's terrific.
We'll have a little, maybe every. Couple of
weekly
times a week, just weekly updates, and it just gives you a little more work to do. That's all.
Exactly. A few more emails.
A few more emails. That's it. I know it. So, what do you have planned? Like, say, the Thanksgiving games coming up soon.
Yes.
And now, is that at Melrose this year?
That is in Melrose. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And how are they doing? at this point?
Melrose is actually very strong.
I haven't followed that, to be honest.
But Thanksgiving, you can throw the records out. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where each team is.
Yeah.
It's always an unbelievable event. It's always an unbelievable game. So.
Now we played them a couple of times last year because the. Is it the Middlesex League changed things around a little bit? And
so there was the way the playoff system kind of got reformatted. You had all your league games, so Middlesex League games, and we're technically in the smaller division now. So you would play all those games prior to the playoffs. Now the only conflict with that is for teams such as Melrose and Wakefield or Woburn and Winchester, where they're in the same division, they would play each other twice, potentially 3 times.
Yes.
So obviously last year we played 3 times, which was really outrageous when you think about it. I mean, that's a 30-year schedule against the same team. Not to mention it's your rival. So what they did this year, they swapped a few games to try to fix that. So instead of Woburn and Winchester playing each other prior to the playoffs, they swapped Woburn and Winchester with Wakefield and Melrose. So now at the end of the year, at the end of the regular season, we will play Winchester, Melrose will play Woburn, and we won't play Melrose until Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay, so it's back to the old days.
Yes, so somewhat back to the old days. Now here's the only issue. We still could potentially play them in the playoffs. So we could still potentially play them twice, but they're doing away with that additional game prior to the playoffs.
That's good.
So that helped things a little bit because last year was it was outrageous.
It's kind of lost its.
It kind of watered things down a little bit, to be honest. So. And
that's great. I'm glad to hear that. I wasn't aware of that. So, and I was thinking about just a while ago there. So it's possible that we could play Melrose twice this year. Then.
It is possible. Yes.
Okay. And then Thanksgiving will be like that.
Ideally, we only play them once, but it is possible.
How does this feel for you?
Oh, geez, I've got that question probably a million times.
What do we mean by that?
It's interesting. Last week we played soccer. We played Melrose, so that was. I didn't know what to expect. I went to the girls' game first because the girls played during the day, the guys played at night. And the Melrose girls, I didn't go up before the game. I know all of them because I had taught them and coached them, in Melrose. And so it was funny. Before the game, they all walked out and they raised their jerseys up like this and they pointed to me. And I said, oh, geez. But then after the game, they all came over. They gave me high fives, shook hands. So it was nice. And the parents were really nice.
For the people who may not know what we're talking about here, Brendan is originally from Melrose.
Yes,
and he was very involved in the sporting areas there. So now that he's in Wakefield, he's getting a little.
When I showed up to the boys' game, one of the students in the crowd, Melrose student, immediately stood up, and when they saw me, he goes, "Mr. Kent, how could you do this to us?" Jokingly, it was kind of funny.
You're going to take a little
But I'm
going
to say, I know I'm going to get a lot more of that, especially on Thanksgiving.
Oh,
That's going to be tough. But,
that's going to be a tough one,
it comes with the territory.
So I mean, if Melrose wins, and that'll be good. If Wakefield wins, so you kind of win both ways.
Well, I'm a warrior now.
I know.
Everybody, I'm a
that's
warrior,
true.
So. Although my brothers are still, Red Raiders, so that'll be tough.
That should be fun. It makes it exciting. It's kind of fun there. And everything. So what do you have? We've got a few minutes left here. What do you have? Anything new coming down the road, or what? You've said a lot already. I realize, but
so I guess I'll just update on a few updates recently. Yes, last night we had an awesome event. Our girls volleyball program sponsored Go Gold. For pediatric cancer awareness. So they had a huge event where they charged tickets at the door. They had a ton of raffles, and all the money went towards pediatric cancer research. We had a big crowd. It was really awesome. It's great to see our programs get involved with stuff like that. Saturday, I mentioned our boys cross country team. They competed in the Frank Kelly Invitational, which is one of the biggest cross country invitationals of the season.
Okay.
The boys, as a team, varsity came in second place. Adam Roberto, who's a senior, first year senior, came in fourth place. And this was a race with 200 runners in it.
Wow.
So that's really remarkable.
Yeah.
Teams from all across Massachusetts. Our JV team, again, 200 runners. JV team came in first place. 6 out of the top 10 were all Wakefield runners.
Wow.
And then our freshman team came in second. So they are really having an unbelievable season. And our girls came in 8th place. So cross country is really having a great season.
This is a good year.
Yeah, I talked to Perry Pappas, the coach, and he thinks this could be one of the best teams ever that he's had. So,
wow.
Yeah.
And you have some great freshmen coming up. That's a nice feeling.
That's really great.
You can count on them for the next
exactly.
few years.
Yeah,
so that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, I think that should take care of it. I know we have a couple of minutes left, but I'm really happy to be able to get together with you on this.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's not only good programming for WCAT, but it's also getting the word out there. And I think that people will be more informed.
Yes.
Like you see, you're new and you're full of energy and you got a lot going on, and that's going to help a lot too. Yes. So we're really looking forward to the rest of the season and so on. So get that stuff to me and we'll throw it on there, and we'll see what we can do. So
awesome.
Hope to see you again next month.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Okay.
Thanks
a lot, Brendan.